As we head into this time of year, our focuses shift from what's happening in the market to preparing for the holidays and spending time with family and friends. But if you're planning on buying or selling a home in the new year, or you just like to follow the trends of this real estate roller coaster ride, then I have one more market update for you before we head into the new year. My name is Jessie McClellan, and I'm a realtor here with the Lisa Abbott team in Oshawa, Ontario. I'll have a couple of videos following this one going into more detail by area, but in this video, we're going to dive into what happened in the Durham region real estate market in November. We had some price shifts, inventory levels took a big hit, and we'll look at what this means for you or anyone planning on buying or selling a home in the near future. If you like this video and would like to stay up to date on everything happening in the real estate market, especially in Durham region, then please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. You can also always use the link in the description to book a call with me if you have any questions about our market, or if you think I might be a good fit to help you buy or sell a home here. I've been lucky enough to help a few viewers buy and sell their properties this year, and I'd be happy to help you as well. Now let's jump into what's changed and what you can expect for the rest of the year. There was a decrease to the average sale price of all home types in Durham region during the month of November, but we did see a bit of an unexpected bump in price during October, so this decrease just brings us back in line with the slow downward trend we've been seeing in the market since July. The biggest month-over-month change was the number of new listings that came onto the market. During the month of November, we saw 1,262 new listings hit the market, which is a steep drop from the 1,761 listings that hit the market in October. A decrease in the new listings isn't totally unusual at this time of year, it just happened a little sooner than it did last year. This larger drop in new listings has caused our active inventory to take a significant dip for the first time since the beginning of the year. Naturally, this has also caused our months of inventory to drop below 3 months again, and it's now sitting at 2.7 months of inventory. If you've watched my other videos, then you know I don't like to just look at one statistic to paint the picture for the whole market. 2.7 months of inventory would suggest we're in a more sellers-leaning market, but that's not really the case in Durham region. Our sales to new listing ratio increased a little bit, again due to the big drop in new listings, and it now sits at 42.8%, which is right in line with a balanced, almost buyers-leaning market. And the other metrics like days on market and sale price to list price ratio also suggests we're trending in the same downward direction. This is to be expected at this time of year. We saw it play out very similarly last year at this time as well. However, this year we still have significantly more active listings than we did last year, and depending on how many active listings we have on the market at the end of December could play a big role in how our market plays out at the start of the new year and how it looks heading into the start of the spring market. In November of last year, we had 1,037 active listings on the market, but that number quickly dropped to just 723 by the end of December. And although we ended November this year with 1,453 active listings, we can expect a similar trend to play out in December. We can expect sales volume to continue to drop as well as less homes being listed, which will result in stats like months of inventory and sales to new listing ratio starting to show a shift back towards a seller's market. However, that's not really the case. It's just the slowest time of year for our real estate market, so some numbers will show a little skewed from reality. Although we can expect a drop in active listings in December as well, if we can maintain a higher number than we had last year, that might help the spring market from taking off as quickly as it did in the spring of this year, where we saw a $100,000 price increase in a short amount of time. And to add to that, from the conversations we've been having with other real estate agents and homeowners considering selling, everyone really seems to be waiting and hoping that the spring will be a better market. And while historically that is a safer bet, and we'll almost certainly see activity and sales volume increase if we enter the year with a high number of active listings still on the market, plus we see an influx of listings from people who are waiting for the spring market, we may not see the big bump in the market that many sellers are hoping for. So what do you do if you're a buyer or seller now or in the near future? At this point, most people are going to wait until we get a little bit into the new year before they pick their home search back up or consider listing their home for sale. However, for buyers, if you're really keen on finding a good deal, the homes for sale at this time of year are for sale for a reason, and usually the homeowner has to sell. They may have bought another property already and need to sell their current home, or it could be financial hardship related or many other reasons, but if they didn't have to sell, it's likely that they wouldn't be on the market right right now. And since December started, the number of showings has had a huge drop off, so sellers aren't seeing much activity at all, even on the lower priced entry-level properties across Durham region, which has not been the case for a long time. And at the time I was planning this video, there are 50 listings in Durham region under $650,000, and many of them are great entry-level homes in good areas that aren't getting a lot of showings right now. So if you're a first-time homebuyer at that price point, I would seriously take a look at some of those properties and keep your eye on what's happening in the market over the next few weeks. If you're going to be selling in the near future, as I've mentioned, the market is slower right now, but we'll likely see activity pick up in the new year and the closer we get to spring. But nothing is certain. You're going to have to adjust your plan and expectations closer to the time you're planning on listing your home and base it on the market conditions at that time. One thing I stress with sellers right now is make sure your home has the basic fundamentals covered and that they're done right when you're selling. When we're coming out of a market that was very in favor of sellers over the last handful of years, it's easy for both sellers and realtors to make mistakes and want to cut costs in the wrong places because home prices have gone down, and that affects both what the seller and agent nets at the end of the day. In a market with buyer demand that far exceeds available supply, sellers could get away with having expectations that were maybe a little above and beyond what recent sales would have suggested. And agents could get away with maybe being off on their pricing accuracy and their plan to market and showcase the home in the best way possible. But in a market where you struggle to get showings, those missteps become much more detrimental to the sale than it would have been in a hotter real estate market. The reaction many sellers and agents can have to a market like the one we're experiencing is to cut costs and save money. But when those costs come out of the basic services that are required to sell a home efficiently and for the most money possible, it's counterintuitive and only hurts the final sale price, the overall experience, and the money the seller will net at the end of the day. And a basic fundamental that doesn't cost any extra money to get right is pricing. Knowing how to price a home in this market is a lost art in much of the real estate industry, as a lot of agents have been spoiled by a market where everything will sell regardless of how accurate and good an agent is at their job. But unlike a lot of major factors when selling a home, not being able to accurately price is not something that someone can pay their way out of, like photography or staging. One of the first things buyers are going to see is the list price. Pricing is going to dictate how they perceive your home and whether or not it even shows up in their search results when they're looking online. Any realtor you choose to work with should be able to clearly explain their opinion and strategy on how to price your property, and they should be able to back that up with other recent sales or similar homes on the market, and also back it up with their own listings. How did their listings perform? When the market started to cool down, did their listings all of a sudden start sitting for weeks or months with lots of cancellations and relisting or price reductions? The longer a home sits on the market and the more cancellations or price reductions you have, the more money it costs the seller at the end of the day. That's my advice, and if you'd like to speak with me more about buying or selling a property in or around Durham region, feel free to use the link in the description to book a call with me at a time that works best for you. I have some great videos planned for the rest of December and into January, so I'd love to have you subscribe and stick around for those too. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!